Hello and welcome to yourlocalnote.com. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, and welcome to another Vidcast. And we've got a couple guys here we haven't seen in a while, Cold Roses. They've got new music out, and we're going to talk to them about it and play some for you in just a bit. They got a new album out called No Silence in the City. But just want to give you a quick reminder here. We are streaming 24/7. We got a free app. Just go to the respective stores, type in YLN, and download it for free. We've got the YLN Update, where Mike and I talk about the latest things that are going on in the Philadelphia music scene. Also, we've got the concert calendar too. You can check out where your favorite bands are playing. All that and more. If it has to do with Philadelphia music, it's happening on yourlocalnote.com. All right, coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to talk with Rob and Brandon from Cold Roses. Right now, we're going to do the title track of their latest album. It's called No Silence in the City on yourlocalnote.com. The song is called No Silence in the City. The band is Cold Roses. This is yourlocalnote.com. That is the title track of Cold Roses' latest album, No Silence in the City. And we welcome Rob and Brandon to the studio. Guys, how you guys doing?
Hey.
Appreciate you coming out.
Hello.
Okay.
The video.
Yeah, last time, Rob, when you joined us a couple years ago, we didn't have video.
No.
You know?
Different place.
So you got a sharp hat on. You're looking good.
Trying.
He's keeping it together.
Very cool. So we haven't talked to you in a while. What have you guys been up to?
So much. I mean, the last time I was here, I believe, was when we released our EP, the Georgia Fugue, and I don't know where to begin to describe the differences. The only constant really is that Brandon and I are still playing music together. Ever since then, we've just gotten a completely new band, which just totally changed the sound all for the better. We have a horn section now.
Wow.
So that's changed a lot. So it's just kind of like all culminated into this record that we just put out. Just everything, just all of us playing together, and it's just been, we worked our tails off, but we're proud of it, and I think this is a really good representation of where we are now and where we're going.
Yeah, we see how hard you're working. I mean, we as we do an update every week, so we're scouring, Twitter and also Facebook pages to find out what people are up to, and you guys constantly have stuff up there, always.
We try to stay
playing
active.
here, we're in the studio, we're doing this, we're writing a new song here, check this out, so it's good stuff, and really looking forward to checking out the entire album of No Silence in the City. What is No Silence in the City? It's the title track. What is the song about?
It was, I guess, about two kind of different things. For me personally, it was just, I had just moved, a lot of things were going on. I just kind of felt like my brain was just racing at 500 miles an hour all the time, and I just couldn't get like a quiet moment in my own mind, but also more literally for anyone that lives in the city, it's really hard to try to find like some real physical quiet. There's
Right.
always like a siren going off, there's some breaks, a bum talking to himself, there's always some sort of noise. So it kind of had a double-headed meaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let's get back to the band. And you mentioned you made some changes. A horn section now. Is that something that you were going for, or is it something that sort of fell into place?
I guess like kind of both, because we had the first major change that we did was we got a keyboard player in the band. So we used to be a 2-guitar player band.
Right.
And then we got Alex, who's been with us for like 2 years?
I think it's almost
2.5
3
years,
at this
something
point.
like, yeah. So, and that added a whole different dynamic. And what prompted it was when we got the MMR Artist of the Month back in June of last year, that we wanted to do something really different and something for special for the show that they gave us. So, and it was just always in my head, like really curious to want to try that. And I think it was because of just for like my love. I know Brandon loves it. Everyone in the band like has an affinity for Motown and soul and 60s R&B and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like I love Otis Redding and that
Right.
Stax kind of stuff. And I think it was also just a reflection of kind of like where we come from. We come from an urban environment that's very rooted in jazz and soul and that kind of stuff. So, and we just kind of tried it on a whim. And I remember just when we got the rehearsal together, I remember we all kind of looked at each other and were like, yeah, this feels right. So, and we've been very fortunate that they're still sticking around with us. And
Okay.
yeah, so the full band has been a year and a half maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, since June.
Yeah.
So how many members in the band now?
6 now.
6. Does it change the way you approach songwriting because you got more members, you got more?
No, it usually kind of works like I'll have a song either written out all together or just have like an idea, and usually the best way that it works is the 4 of us kind of get together and we kind of get some sort of a structure or whatever if that's not already in place. So we just kind of work it out amongst ourselves, and then we present that idea to the horns. And so then they can kind of like, get that swirling around. And usually what they'll do is meet up, just the 2 of them, and they'll have a rehearsal themselves.
Okay.
So, and then when we all come together, it's a lot more productive.
So it's a 2-part process.
It is, yeah.
You guys put the idea together, and then you give it to them, and then they put their I guess their for lack of a better word, their style
Their
to
stamp
it.
on it,
And
yeah.
their stamp, yeah.
Yeah, well-
So you got to have a little bit of trust with them as far as coming back with something that you think is going to fit with what you're trying to do.
It's never
good,
like
so.
blindly, like we might just kind of, we'll send them the idea and then they'll come in for a rehearsal and like listen to it and maybe work out some stuff, and then they can be like, okay, well here's where we need to kind of like solidify what we're gonna do or something like that, or we just have an idea. It's never one formula. It's always different.
Okay.
Every time. Sometimes we just hammer it out right there on the spot. there's been a couple songs where it's like, oh, maybe the horns, can go get a beer on this one. So,
I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah, give the lungs a rest.
There we go. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to song number 2, and then we're going to come back and continue talking about the band and the new, I don't want to say new direction, but it's a different direction than what you were doing a couple years ago. So we'll continue that. You're listening to yourlocalnote.com. This is a vidcast. We appreciate you joining us. The next song off the album No Silence in the City, it's called Someplace to Go on yourlocalnote.com. Someplace to Go from the album No Silence in the City. The band is Cold Roses, hanging with Rob and Brandon. All right, Rob, let's talk about Someplace to Go. What is this song about?
See, how do I put this delicately? It's about those long nights that you have that you wish you had a better memory of, I guess.
I think I can relate to that.
You
yeah,
wish you had a better memory.
Either that, or you wish you don't. You cannot remember it.
Make of it what you will.
Yeah.
But
maybe I should have drank more Jack Daniels that night.
Well, this was more
less
of a
Jack Daniels.
This was definitely there was one point in the session. It was this song, and I think it was "Got No Lovin'," where it was just like, I don't know. It might have been the end of the day. We might have been like pretty tired, like trying to get these takes right. And I remember, I think this was like one of the. It might have been "Got No Lovin'." I can't remember now.
I think it was "Got No Lovin'"
and this
song,
one.
Yeah.
That was just like, I need something to like help me get through this. So where we recorded at Minor Street Recordings in Kensington, Pennsylvania.
Plug.
Gotta do that. Gotta give the shout out.
So there was a bar across the street, and they had the Philly Special, and they gave you like a pounder also. So in the matter, we had about 5 minutes. It was like, we're gonna take 5. Brandon and I ran across the street, did 1, maybe 2 of them, and came back. And I remember like our drummer was behind the board and kind of was just like second guessing it. And I go down, just do like 1 take of it. And he's just like, God damn it, that was it. So we needed it. I think it like helped with the authenticity.
I'd agree. We were sitting in the board,
right,
listening to Rob. He comes back in, and Robbie, our drummer at the time, looks at me, and like Rob said, he's like, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it. I'm like, let him just do it. And 1 take after the drink.
Nice. Something about a cocktail that calms
Philly
you down.
Special.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It's the lifeblood of the band.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's the lifeblood of a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
So you guys, Rob, you just mentioned the studio that you recorded at. Mm-hmm. Did you record your EP there?
No.
Where did you record your EP?
We did the EP down in Georgia.
Okay.
In more or less like a house, just outside of Atlanta. But this one, we wanted to take a completely different approach with this album and the way it was done and the way it sounded in every aspect that we've ever done a record before.
Did you guys bring in a producer, or did you just bring an engineer?
We just had an engineer.
So you guys controlled the way you wanted to sound.
Yeah, Robbie, our drummer, did a lot of the producing, and I, did the producing when I could, because I was doing, when I didn't want to produce myself.
Right.
But he was great with it. He really helped, bring a lot of that together, and with our engineer, Matt Schimmelfennig, he was incredible, just helping us get the sounds and getting everything right. I mean, he was unbelievable behind the board. So it was a lot of really good teamwork going on in the studio. We really thought with all these, everybody, all 6 of us sometimes being crammed in a studio 10 hours a day, we didn't know what to expect, but it went really well. It was really, everybody worked really hard on it. And we just wanted to go somewhere. I remember Robbie and I went and just looking around different studios, and there was just something about Minor Street, just walking in, it's got windows all around, so you don't feel like you're in a basement. It's got these. It just had a lot of character, and it was just, we knew from the second going in there that this was going to be it, and we did it to tape this time around. And I think just the biggest thing that really helped this record was we wanted it to make sound like a live record. So the 4 of us all tracked at the same time, and did all the rhythm tracks live. Wow. So we wanted to really keep that energy and that organic. There's really no technology on there. There's no plugins. There's no auto-tune. There's nothing.
Was that something you did? Was it influenced, I should say, by money? Because let's face it, studio time can get very expensive and rack up. So is that something you said, well, in order to do this, or is that something you just wanted to do and you felt it was a better sound for the band?
Well, I mean, just from the sound perspective, that's where we knew we were going to get the best sound. And financially, I think it was a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, okay. I would say 60-40 on that.
Yeah,
it was more of the sound we wanted, but it was more financially feasible to pull it off.
And the thing is, we talked about this before we even went on the air tonight about the finances that you guys incur, and I think the fact that there's a group of people that are coming up of age that don't understand how expensive it is to
it depends.
Make music.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you get what you pay for, but we were very fortunate to have the support of our fans and donating to our Indiegogo. That really helped.
Right.
Really helped everything. But we wanted to. That was just where we needed to go. Okay. I mean, we looked at so many places and just knew that was, we would have to make it work.
Now, this is your first full album.
This is the first full length.
Okay, you made an EP, now first full length. looking ahead, will you stay with the album or will you look more to the EP? Because the things that we talk about with different bands and different artists is the fact that, the way the music industry is changing, just the way music consumption is changing. Is it going to be more, effective to do smaller amounts of songs and getting them out more often?
Well, I think like whatever we do, and even what's kind of like the approach with this record is almost kind of follow the trend, but do it in our own way.
Okay.
Because we didn't want a record to sound like a lot of our other contemporaries, in the sounds that they were getting. Not to say that they were bad.
Right.
We just had a very particular sound in mind, and feel that we wanted to get with this. And I think like looking forward, we've discussed issuing a live EP. We've discussed maybe doing like sporadic EPs recorded in really interesting places.
Right.
And not make it necessarily the ABC. Like, well, now you're just going to do an EP. Like,
right.
We just want to keep doing something different than what was done previously.
Yeah, we talked about singles and just about whatever we can do at the time, whatever is financially feasible, but also, staying true to the soul of the band. Yeah.
There was one band that we've talked to recently. What they did is they released a whole bunch of singles in 2014, and then at the end of the year, they're just compiling it together and then releasing it that way too. I mean, that's a thought. I mean, we're in such a interesting, unique, transitional time that could be painful, because when there is transition, there can be pain in it. In the music industry. That we touched on before, as far as, how do you continue to do something? Obviously, this is, a labor of love for you guys, but at the same time, you'd like to be able to sustain it by making some money on this,
Yeah. I mean, I think like it's weird kind of like what happened with us. I just, even just thinking about it was we hadn't put anything out in a long time. And we were changing the band, the shows were changing. We were getting a lot more fan base. We were, doing all these different things, and yet everybody was just like, where's this music? Where can I get this music?
Cool.
And we just, and it just by default took us as long as it did to get it out. So, because people were always asking us, where's your music? Where can I get your music?
Right.
So by the time we started to issue, say that we're recording a record, we started to see more traction and more. This is like actually the first time that there's ever been like anticipation, like for us to put something out. It's
nice.
Been, like,
that's
weird.
A good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's very So I don't know if that was a good thing or however it was.
So were you playing a lot of these songs live before you went into the studio to record them?
Yeah.
So was fan reaction to the individual songs, was that important to you as far as whether you're going to include the song on the album or not?
Yeah, yes and no. And because there's a couple songs even on there. We recorded 10 songs when we did the Georgia Fugue during that session, and we issued maybe about 5 of them.
Right.
So there's a couple songs. There's 2 songs on No Silence in the City that were cut from the Georgia Fugue sessions, and they just never were touched until this new band came in, and they're just nothing like the originals.
Oh, cool.
And they've never been heard live.
They've never been heard live. And there's a couple songs on there that are actually re-records from the Georgia Fugue, just because again we play them differently
because of the horns and different players. You have
and then there's one song on there, "Let Me Go," that we had done full band on Georgia Fugue, and this time around it's just me with an acoustic guitar, and we had a guy come in with an upright bass.
Nice.
But then there's other songs that we've been playing for however long, like "Got No Lovin'."
6 years, yeah.
Yeah, like "Got No Lovin'" has just evolved, I think, maybe like 3 different times.
Okay.
And now it's like, this is where it is, and this is where it's going to stay.
Very cool. All right, let's go to song number 3 off the album that we're actually playing tonight. It's No Silence in the City from Cold Roses. The third song we're playing here, it's not the third cut, but it's the third song. It's called Cutting It Close. You're listening to and watching yourlocalnote.com.
Kidding myself that I'm leaving here today. 'Cause every time I go, she just makes me stay. Well, it's just one more night locked in herself. Yeah, she may look like heaven, but she burns like hell. She's got me close. She may look like heaven, but she burns like hell. She's cutting it close. And my baby love, she's cutting it close. And I need her love. Need her love. Need her love.
Well, we got to pay the bills somehow,
That's
Rob,
right.
right? All right, the song is called Cutting It Close. I knew. Sometimes you continue the conversation that we're having off the air. Cutting It Close from the CD, No Silence in the City, hanging with Rob and Brandon of Cold Roses. Great to have them back. It's been a while. And let's talk about Cutting It Close. What is this song about, Rob?
This is probably one of my favorite ones on the record, just because it was weird and we kind of did some different stuff with it. But Cutting It Close, that was just like, that was one of those songs that just kind of wrote itself. It was almost like a ghostwriter,
Right?
You know, it was just kind of like I was just feeling like certain ways about certain relationships and stuff. So I just kind of had to formulate it, into some kind of like story context, but maybe with some autobiographical in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you do that a lot? Do you combine some information or something you see with something you've experienced, or do a lot of your songs are experience based only?
It depends. I mean, there are certain it totally depends. You never know like what's gonna incite you to write one particular way. Sometimes it'll be maybe a story or something mixed in with some personal experiences. Other times it is a direct personal experience or emotion or something like that. But I always, maybe try to put something, in there. I don't just write
Brandon,
a song.
can you ever pick up on when he's got something in there that's...
Oh God, yeah. I mean, Rob and I have been friends a long time, and I think it's the next song that we're going to listen to.
Okay.
In particular, I was there the night that he kind of like debuted it at this kind of acoustic thing we were all hanging at, and he played the song, and I walked up to him afterwards, and I'm like, I know exactly what that was about. Mm-hmm. Good luck trying to hide that from all of our friends. But no, I mean, we've known each other a long time. I see kind of
right
where things are placed. Not everything, obviously. Not in this song in particular, but
okay.
You get focused so much on the music of it that you sometimes miss the lyrics.
Okay, very good. You talked about, Rob, you've been talking about, doing things differently. Mm-hmm. That's a concerted effort to keep the band fresh in your mind, fresh for you keeping this project going. I mean, is that something that you're working at all the time? How can we be different than we were 2 months ago, 6 months ago?
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just ADD or whatever it is, but
is it a topic that you talk about as a band?
No, it's never like a deliberate thing. I mean, so far it's always been kind of, it's an amicable thing, or if like I have an idea for something, usually everybody is like hops on board. It's
okay, let's try it.
Yeah, because I think everybody does want to do that and not kind of fall into some kind of formula and just. And because it's very easy to get bored in that kind of situation. Like, I couldn't be in AC/DC. I couldn't play the same riff all the time, for 30 years.
You sure? But if you saw all those zeros at the end of the check, I'm just kidding.
Well, now Malcolm can't remember what the hell his songs are.
That's true too. Yes.
I would say I think Robbie and Robbie in particular are great at kind of pushing the envelope a little bit and changing things. Like this song, "Cutting Close," we just listened to. There was a night we all sat down and we loved the song, but we weren't sure about the kind of form that it was initially
the feel
played. The feel of it and the structure of it. we sat and we're like, okay, how can we make this different or change it up? And it turned into what we have now, which is, I would say, one of our most unique sounding songs on the album.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love playing live. I love, the
so
studio is really fun to record. It was just different. Like, we almost wanted to put that one in the middle to almost be like, what is
this? Person listening to the album is like, wait a minute, where did this come from?
Yeah, that's
cool.
like definitely what we wanted to do with this record, was treat each individual song differently.
So it helps. It seems like the band, everyone sort of thinks the same way then, as far as always, let's try something.
There hasn't been too much like resistance from any like one person.
Okay.
I mean, if anyone's really gonna butt heads, it'll be me and Robbie. But it's never gotten to anything like I said before. Everybody really understands everybody else, and the dynamic is really good.
Yeah, there's such a mutual respect for everyone's abilities, and we have the ability to kind of be very direct with each other, without really taking it too personally.
It's even like to the point too where we play together. Like we'll just like stop something and be like, yeah, no, that didn't feel right. Like one of the songs on here is "Lose That Man." When we were running it in the studio, I don't know, we might have been playing with it to a click, but I can't remember. And we were just like, and I remember got done a couple takes and we just all kind of looked at each other like, this isn't really, it's just like, it's not feeling, like we're not feeling it.
Right.
So Matt, the engineer, who again was just so awesome in this way, kind of, just popped his head out and just said, he said, why don't you sing scratch vocals and you guys just play it? So we did that, and I think like in the second take we had it.
Nice.
Because then he was just like, it sounded like you guys were a band playing together, and not just like thinking about it, because when you do that, then it starts to get, but I think it was great that like we were all playing together, so we could, look at each other for, all this stuff, and because now we've played so many shows together in the past year and a half.
Yes, we've seen that.
It's just a good chemistry that just I think we have on stage.
Very
like we
cool.
kind of know where each other's going to go.
All right.
Yeah.
Where can people find your music?
We have our website. Everyone, coldroses.net. It's our main website. You can catch us on Facebook. We're facebook.com/coldroses. Twitter handle is @ColdRosesPhilly. Our Instagram is Cold Roses Band, and our YouTube is Cold Roses Band.
Okay, very cool. All right, shows. Where can people see you? I mean, you can always go to our site because we try to get your shows up as much as possible.
Thank you. It's definitely appreciated. The show that we're promoting the most is Milk Boy.
Okay.
Saturday, November 1st. It's our album release show. It is the show. You're going to see a Cold Roses that you've never seen. Even if you've seen us every show this year, this is the one to go to.
Okay, you guys been gearing towards this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got
some
our
special
good
guests and all kinds of cool stuff going. Yeah.
We have our buddies, the Rivals, joining us on that bill, and a band called Terrible Friends.
Okay.
So it'll be an interesting one.
We had Terrible Friends in just a couple weeks ago.
That. Yeah, saw that.
They good guys.
Nice.
Enjoyed talking with them.
Yeah, we're looking forward to playing with them.
Yeah, it sounds good. Very good. All right, guys, that sounds very cool. So November 1st, anything else after November 1st, or you're just focused on that right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one to go to. We have a couple other, things around Philly. We're going to do an event that's called Philly Sings Philly, which is where a bunch of local artists get together and basically sing each other's songs.
Oh, that's cool.
So that'll be at the Fire on November 11th.
Nice.
And then on November 17th, we're doing an event at University of the Arts with a band that's touring from Nashville.
Okay.
So we'll be opening for them.
Very nice. But the big show is November 1st.
The big show is November 1st.
Okay.
New merchandise.
New merchandise.
We just got new shirts, new pint glasses,
nice.
New band pins, new all kinds of cool stuff.
And you'll have CDs, Cold Roses, No Silence.
First chance to get your hands on the physical copy of the CD.
Excellent. Very good. Again, November 1st at Milk Boy. Of course, we'll have that info all over yourlocalnote.com. All right, let's talk about the last song here that we're going to play tonight, Words Without Speaking. Brandon, you sort of alluded to this song, but Rob, go ahead.
That was like the most interesting thing. Like, this was just a song I had just kind of written for myself. And I guess it was probably my girlfriend and I had just gotten into an argument or something, and I was just feeling like, what do I have to say here?
Right.
So it was one of those kind of things. I remember playing that, and Brandon was at the bar, and I remember he kind of just turns around and was just like, dude.
Yeah, it still is one of my all-time favorite songs. I walked up to him like, this is gonna be a hit.
Nice.
I swear.
It was just a little different. It's definitely more of one of the softer ones on the record, but this is one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
that we did on the record is one of my favorite songs.
Very good, guys. So great to see you, and so I'm so excited about this album. We're gonna check it out. That's what I'm gonna listen to on my ride home tonight.
All right.
And really looking forward to November 1st again at Milk Boy. That's your album release party. Check that out. And this name of the album is called No Silence in the City. Just want to remind you real quickly, we'll have another vidcast coming up next week. Don't forget to check out the streaming that we do on our site. It's nothing but Philadelphia area musicians. That's what we do. We're all about Philadelphia area musicians. Every song you hear is from people who live and play in the area. Also, Mike and I do a YLN update. We talk about the latest music news that's going on in the Philadelphia area. All right, again, we're wrapping things up. Cold Roses, again, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Name of the album is called No Silence in the City. This song is called Words Without Speaking, and you're hanging with yourlocalnote.com.
I've been trying to say these words without speaking, to one without needing anything but you. Every time we kiss, I get so downhearted. But how since we started did it all come to this? 'Cause I want to be with you, don't know how. 'Cause I want to think it's true, you want it more. Wasn't sure of what hell I was thinking when I start drinking and the walls come down. Thinking about our love, what I've been feeling. The scars are not healing. I wanna die, yeah. 'Cause I want to be where you don't know how. 'Cause I want to think it's true, you want it more, want it more. Wasn't sure of what hell I was thinking